automation process which will automatically done a business logic in the backend. Okay, so there are multiple types of flows which are available in the Salesforce. You can just go to these flows and click on the new flow. Here you have all these different types of flows. What is meaning of the screen flow? The screen flow is something, if we want to make the user to be interact with the screen, is called the screen flow. Wherever we want to make our own screen instead of the out of the box screen, you can design your screen here and then show it to the user. In that case, you can use your screen flow instead of using your LWC or HTML pages or anything. So you can just use the a screen flow, which is a drag and drops. Okay. The other one is a record trigger flow. So record trigger flow in the sense, when there is an event happen on a record, if you want to do a particular action, you can use your record trigger flow. If your business is wanted to have the one piece of logic to be executed on a particular date and time, so you can schedule this logic. That is called the schedulable, correct? You can schedule this flow. So on that particular scheduled date and time, whatever the business logic inside this flow will be executed. Until that, this won't be executed. This will be executed as soon as the user interacting. This will be executed as soon as the record is triggered. This is only after at a particular date and time. Okay, this is a platform events. So we have one more thing called platform events in the Salesforce. This is we're not going to discuss anything more. So but I'm just telling you that this is a sub concept here. Okay, and the other thing is the auto launched flow. So when I say auto launched flow is, so here the user has to be interact by clicking on something. This one, the user has to create a record or insert, update, or the delete. So in these things, user is interacting. But here, based on some certain logic, so I want to automatically trigger a flow, which either be screen flow or trigger flow or schedule flow, whatever it is. Okay. If I want to trigger something or some logic to be happen from my other ways of my development. Okay. So in that case, I can trigger this one, and you can use this trigger flow. This one and this one you may not be able to understand at this moment, because these will be comes in our development. Okay. So for now, just concentrate on these two things: screen flow and the record flow. So I'm going to explain you on the record flow. So when we click on the record flow, so you know exactly when you need to use this record flow, correct? When you are dealing with the records, as soon as the record is created or updated or deleted, if you want to do some business logic automation, then you can use the record flow. So here you can select which object you want to deal with it. It is as like the flows and the process bullets again. I have to select the object and which evolution order, right? In which time I have to use this trigger. When a record is created, which means an insert, updated, either in created or updated, or it's a deleted. Okay, these are the events we have. So as per our requirements, I'm going with the either created or updated, because I may change the annual revenue at any point of time, correct? So I'm going to use created or updated. Set criteria entry. So here what it does is this is a criteria. Okay, entry criteria. If you want to set some entry in the criteria here itself, you can set it up. Let's say R. Okay, so now on my annual revenue is greater than equals to 0. not greater than or equals to, it's a greater than 0. Revenue is less than or equals to 1 lakh. Correct. I can just add my entry over here. Okay, any conditions I can use it here. However we did for the process builder, in the same fashion we can do it here. Okay. Greater than 1 lakh, less than or equals to 2 lakh. So again, revenue is greater than 2 lakh. So we have the three conditions. So here how you set up your criteria is the logic. You have to use the custom logic here. So 1 and 2, right? 1 and 2. It should be greater than 0 and less than 1 lakh, or it should be greater than 1 lakh and less than 2 lakh is the 3 and 4, or 5, which is the greater than 2 lakh. If whichever is condition met, the record will be entered into this trigger flow. If nothing was matched here, your flow will not be executed. Okay. So here you have two things here. So this is very, very important here. Okay. So optimize your flow. So the Salesforce will give you a lot of options, as I said, right? Fast field updates and actions and related records. So here our requirement is to adjust, update on the same object. Correct? We have to update only the rating field based on these conditions. I want to update my thing in my record, on my same record. So if I have my same record, I can select this one. What does it is what it does is, internally backend, it will make it fast as compared to this. And as I mentioned, these will run in a before record save. Okay. All the before events will be take place first. Okay. So you can use this one. And when you want to use this, actions unrelated. So if you want to perform any specific action, or if you want to do some business logic with the related records, so on the day we have done, if I update the address in account, I want to reflect in the same thing in the contact, right? In that situation, you are not dealing with the same record, you are dealing with the other records and with the other actions. So on that particular scenario, you have to choose this. Okay. For now, our scenario is to just update the account. As soon as you've done, it will show you what is the object, what is the trigger point, and what are the conditions you have, and what is the optimized for. It's a fast field updates. So when you say fast field updates, in the sense, you no need to use any of the DML statements. Okay. So here what you can simply do is update the triggering record. Okay. So I want to update the triggering records. So you have a lot of things which you can do through a flow. So let's explore on this one first. You have update the triggering record, so which is on the same account record. You have a logical things. You can assign a elements. You can make a decisions. If else conditions, you can loop through this, and you can have collection start, and you have the collection filters, and you can update records, and you can get the records. All these operations, if we don't have a flows, we have to do everything in our Apex logic, which is the development part. Since the Salesforce is offering all these things in the flow, you can just drag and drops here. Okay. So let's take for example. Okay. Decision. I want to take the decision. So if I want to take this decision, what I have to do is simply I can just click on this plus symbol, add element. So which element I want to add is, I want to take a decision here. So decision is what? Revenue is less than 0 and greater than 1 lakh is my decision. So here my label is also same thing, less than 1 lakh. Okay. Here what my conditions are. Here again I have to replicate the same. You might think that why we need to do a multiple times, because for each decision we need to update some different value, correct? So to do that we have to have the different decisions here. If else, you know the if else, correct? If this is happen, what I have to do? If this is happen, what I have to do, correct? If the less than 1 lakh, what I have to do? If it is more than 1 lakh and less than 2 lakh, what I have to do? So that is kind of the decisions we can do in the flow. Okay. So here when I click on this resource, this is very important here. So resources are a lot of things here. So record is the global value. So since this is the record, so it will gives you the record page. Okay. Let's say if my record is account record here, my account record revenue is greater than 0 and my record revenue is less than or equals to 1 lakh. Okay. And so since we put every time updated also, right? So we have to check whether this value is updated or not, correct? We should not execute at every point of time. Okay. So to check the previous value and the current value means we should not execute all this time. Okay. You have to execute only if this particular field is changed, correct? So for that one, what I have to do is a record revenue is changed equals to true, correct? I can use this way, or there is one more thing called, so this is the current record. This is the prior, in the sense I have already explained. The prior is the previous value. Okay. What is the previous value and what is the current value is? So the record previous value is this and record current value is this. Let's say the annual revenue is currently it's 1 lakh. I'm just updating from 1 lakh to 1 lakh 50,000. Okay, which means that my prior value is 1 lakh and now the current value is 1 lakh 50,000. Correct. So if I want to check in that way also, I can check it. So record prior value of revenue is not equivalent to, does not equals to the record current value, which means these two are not same. The previous value and current value is not same. Then I have to execute this. Okay. Understood this? So if, sorry. Yeah. That's a good, less than or equals to. Yeah, that's a good catch. So you do understand about the prior value and the record, right? As I was explaining that the prior value is what? Old value. Old value is nothing but the prior value, and the record is the current record is for the current value. Let's say if I'm trying to update the revenue here, the value is now it's a blank, correct? I'm changing it to 10, which means that what is my current value? The current value is 10 and my previous value is, old value is blank, correct? So that's how it is work. It's a new and old one is the previous value and new one is currently whatever is using the entering the new value before he hit the save. When he hit the save, this will become the new value and that will become the older value, correct? Now again, if I come here and change instead of 10, if I change with the 200, 2000, which means what is my old value now? Old value is 10 and current value is 2000. In the same fashion, the record here is the holds the 2000 and the record prior will holds the 10. Okay, the 10 is not equivalent to 2000. So at that point of time only it will get executed. Okay, I'll delete this less than or equals to, because let's say if it is if it is less than or equals to 1 lakh and it is not matching the rule. Okay, then I will make it as a cold. So this is my first condition, correct? These two should be and I can add any number of decisions here. Okay, this is my entire decisions. Revenue check. Okay, I will simply check the revenue check here. And individual things, I will add one more outcome details here. So this is less than 2 lakh condition. Okay, so here what I have to do is I have to do the same thing again. The record prior revenue is does not equals to the current value, correct? Current revenue. So which means there is some update is happening. Okay, at that point of time only you have to trigger. Remember this one, only you have to execute that flow only if you change this revenue. Okay, if you are working on other fields, then your trigger should not be work. So that's why we have to always use the check the old value and new value. Understood? Let's say if I say save, that this flow will be triggered because it's a update, but my trigger is only specific to the annual revenue field. If the annual revenue is changed, then only I have to change my rating. If my annual revenue is not changed, I should not trigger my flow. Okay, that's the reason I'm just putting all these things. Okay, so if let's say if I'm changing my industry, if I'm changing my industry, my trigger should not be executed because I'm not touching my revenue. Correct? If I won't check this condition, what happens is the system will keep on execute and keep on changing this rating. Okay, this is unnecessarily the system will take the time, right? Wherever it is really required, make sure that that condition has to be set. So here my condition is only the revenue is updated. So that's the reason we are checking old value is not equals to with the, the current value. So which means 2000 is the old value and 1 lakh is the new value, then that is not equals to, I mean both are not equals, correct? So yes, okay. So let me tell you this one. I have annual revenue. Okay, I'm trying to edit this annual revenue field, which is a 10 now, correct? As an a user, I changed it to 100. Okay, you can tell me what is the previous value and what is the current value. I'm expecting the answer. If anyone can answer, please answer this. What is the previous value here and what is the current value here? I'm showing it again. You have this field, annual revenue, and value is 10 here. You are editing this. Now, instead of 10, I'm changing it to 100. Now, you can tell me what is the previous value and what is the current value now. Okay, so the previous value is 10 and the current value is 100. So our flow is working on this field alone, correct? Our entire logic way is building on this field. So only whenever there is a change happen on this flow, then only we have to execute our logic, automation logic, and update this field. Otherwise, what happens is the system will keep on updating this field. This is an unnecessary burden for the platform. Okay, as I said, there are some limitations on the platform. So if you keep on increasing unnecessary things to be executed, then the system will get run into the limitation part. So that's the reason we do need to set up a things that what needs to be executed at what time. Okay, so this is, I mean, updating of rating should be happen only if there is a change in the annual revenue, correct? So that is the condition we are checking here. The previous value is not equals to new value, then only execute this, otherwise don't execute this. Okay, that is the condition we are setting up here. Understood? So the record revenue is less than 1 lakh and record revenue greater than or equals to 2 lakh, correct? So this is the another condition, and this is also all done. So and the last condition is what? Greater than 2 lakh, correct? So here also same thing will be applied here. Okay, record prior value is not does not equals to the record current value, and record revenue is greater than 2 lakh. Then execute this condition. So we have put all the decisions here. If you see here, if this is one condition, if this is second condition, if this is a third condition, which is nothing but the conditions, is nothing but the decisions, correct? We put all together in a one decision box. Okay, if less than 1 lakh, what happened? So this is the decision. If less than one, if the greater than 1 lakh and less than 2 lakh, this is the condition. If it is the greater than 2 lakh, this is a condition, correct? So let's decide now what needs to be done when there is a less than 1 lakh. Okay, as soon as you click on that, you can see all the decision box here and outcomes here, which means what happened if less than 1 lakh, correct? You can see now, right, the flow. If less than 1 lakh happened, what you have to do is you have to change the value of, update the value of rating with cold, correct? So add an element with update triggering record, which because we are working on the same record. So this one, update rating field, rating with cold. Okay, so here already I have set my conditions and everything was done. Okay, always update the record. So here you have different ways of fields. So since we have selected the fast forward updates, nothing will be selectable here. Okay, all these options will be disabled. Okay, there is only one option will be available, which is the use trigger record flow, because we have selected on the same record to be updated, correct? So we it will be enabled, and here what field we want to set now? Set the field values for the account record. Set the field value. What field I want looking for is rating. And now what is the value? So because it's a pick list, it's automatically show what pick list values you have to select. Cold. Correct? And do it done. Means if you see here, if it is a less than 1 lakh, then automatically it will be updated with a code. Understood? In the same fashion, if it is less than 2 lakh, add an element, do your update. Okay? Update rating with warm. Correct? Rating warm. Done. If it is a greater than 2 lakh, update rating hot. Correct? Rating equals to hot. So if no conditions met, what I have to do? If no conditions met, rating to blank. I want to change it to blank. Correct? Rating to null. That's it. So if you leave it as a blank, then that is called the null. Okay. Now you understand this flow. This is the decision box. If less than 1 lakh, execute this. Else, if it is a less than 2 lakh, execute this. Else, if it is greater than 2 lakh, execute this. Else, execute this. It is simply however you write your logic in any of these systems, any platform, you have the if, right? Logic here. You know about the else ifs, right? If and else ifs. Logic here. Like that, you will have the, any number of things. If nothing was done, that is last column is else. Execute this. So this is how you have to write in your code if you write your Apex code. Correct? So now are you writing any of the code? No, correct? You're just doing a drag and drops and putting the conditions. The system will take care of all the backend part. Okay? So this is how you can set it up. This is an easy to maintain in the system. Whenever we want to modify, we can easily modify this. Correct? And this is the end of the flow. Once, if any one of these is matched, it will update and it will close this. Okay? Still, if you want to do something, you can do something. So here, if if you want to add some other logics, you can do it. Correct? So at this moment, I don't have any logic here. So that's why I'm just ending it with the logic. This is the end of the logic. Okay? Let me know you guys have any questions up to now. Okay. So once you have done your flow creation, you have to say save and enter your flow. Okay. Account rating update flow. Okay. And here you have the advanced options. So here this is only one type. Okay. Which type of trigger is that yours? So if you have changed your mind and then if you want to execute it in a screen flow, you can change it. Okay. You have a lot of options here. Schedule flow. Sorry. There is no limitations on it. So how many you want, you can do it. Okay. Account rating update. Okay. So here I was showing this is a type and the source of template. So if you want to customize any of these things, you can do it. But at this moment, we don't want to do any of the changes over here. Okay. Just say save. Once you save, again any of the automation process should be in active mode. Without in active mode, that won't be considered as a executable mode. Okay, so here what you have to do is you have to click on the active. Okay, the more advantage with the flow is that you, before you activate it, you can test itself now itself. Okay, this option will not be available in a both process builder and your workflows, correct? So but in a flows, once you build your flow, you want to really test it out how it is working, you can just have it debug. So you can do your debugs. So how many of you know about the debugs? What is meaning of the debug? Okay, a debug is something when you do a logic, how the logic is being executed and how this flow is getting executed is called the debugging. If there is any error, if you want to trace out that error, you can use the debugs. Okay, this is very very important topic which you have to concentrate more. Okay, not only here. I'm saying about the development. When we are into the development, if there is some issue happen, if you want to troubleshoot the error, that is called the debugs. Let's say if we have an internet issue, if you have an issue with your internet, how the system will give you as a troubleshoot manner, right? You have to troubleshoot the problems. So the troubleshoot is nothing but the debugging. You are checking your system whether it is currently working as expected or not. If there is some exception or some problem in the debug, you can identify that. Okay, that is called the debug is nothing but the troubleshoot, as simple as that. Okay, now this one you can just run your things now. If you run here, what happens is, since it is a record flow, this running will not be happen. Okay, because the reason is, as I said, right, this is a record flow, you need an account ID, so the running will not be happen. So what you can do is you can do a debug here, debug options. So you can skip a start condition requirements and run your flow. So if you want to execute from starting, you can execute it. So and when you want to run this flow, when it is created or updated. So because we choose for the both options, let's say I want to do an update. So now here I can choose my existing account, whatever I have in my Salesforce. So now I have selected the S4 now. Okay, see here, it as soon as I selected this account, whatever the layout it has, it will display all the things here. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to change my, where are you, revenue? If you guys find that, please let me know, because see here. Okay, now what I'm going to do is it is at 10 now. Okay, and where is the rating? This account rating is 0 now. So if I change it to 100, what account rating it has to be populated here? It should be cold, correct? Let's check whether it is happening or not before we are activating itself. Okay, we can test and we can activate. So which means that once you return your code, you can test it out and you can deploy it, right? In the same fashion, you can write your logics and you can test it out. Now I change it to 100, and now let's see what value will be populated over here. So that the debug will be happens here, and see now how the interview was started. The debug run was triggered as if the account record was updated. This record is updated. Okay, this is the who started this user has been started this flow, correct? And this is the API version of the 56 version. So these API versions are very very important. This API versions means the latest updates will be have the every release it will be changed. Okay, So these are the flow variables. Record is this. So this is a record ID. And the start time is this is when it was started. Okay. And start condition. So this is the start condition, right? So we have all these conditions and it was met. Because it met, we are seeing the next immediate action is decision revenue. In the decision revenue, which one it has done is the outcome less than 1 lakh was executed. If you see here, less than 1 lakh was executed because our value is only 100. See here, 100 less than or equals to 1 lakh. This became true, correct? And the prior value is 10 here, correct? The prior value 10 does not equal to 100. So these two are matched. That's the reason only this less than 1 lakh was executed. So under this logic, what we have? We have the update records. This is update records is there. In the update records, what we are updating? We are updating. If you see here, it will fetch all the accounts. So now the rating is become the cold. Correct? The rating will become the cold and your interview was finished. If you want to do any of the rollback, you can't do because it is a trigger flow. Okay. So if you go to here and then see the record, this might be updated. Since we are not activated it and we are not testing it out in proper way, it is not doing the update here. So you can do all these checks here. So now if you try to do the same thing in your actual record, it does the same thing. This is the expected result and the result has been done. So we can activate now. Correct? Understood, guys, or not? I'll do the debug again. Okay. I'm going to update the same record again. Now, instead of the 10, I'm going to give the 2,50,000. Okay. Now let's see how it executed. So this will be done and the decision will be now. If you check this, skip this outcome because it's a condition were not met. The very first condition is less than 1 lakh. Correct. This is skipped because this is not meeting the criteria. So in our decisions, how many we have? 1, 2, 3. So it is executing in an order. So first it will change. So the next condition it goes less than 2 lakh. This is also skipped because this is also not matched. And the third condition. The third condition is executed because it is greater than 2 lakh. Correct. So this all conditions must be true. So the outcome is executed. Which outcome is executed here? Greater than lakh executed. Correct. And the update records also will have now if you see this rating, it's hot. So this is how you can debug before you activate and debug it. So now it is working as expected in the system. So what I can now is I can activate this. Okay. Once I activate it, if you do the same thing here, let's say if I make some numbers, it will be automatically populated. If I want to change it to blank, it got one. Come on. Okay. In my condition, what I did was I put greater than 0, right? So here I have it is if sorry. And it is slow. So again, once we have activated this one side, so if I want to make it okay. So if I want to make any changes, what I have is again, I have to change here. Okay, let's say if I'm going to change this, I don't want the other condition. Okay, one is not okay. One or 3, 1, 1, or 2, and 3, or 4. Correct. Because we have only 4 conditions here. Okay. Done. When I change here, you will have the save as. Okay, save as then we have the save as. So that one version will be created over here. So now we can see the version numbers here. Version number 2 now. Okay. If I want to debug again, I can check the debug here. For the source, what I'm going to do is I'm going to do the revenue user and run this one. When I do this one, my rating will be cold. Correct. Now what I do is I'll go and change my this thing to blank. Okay. This is not happening because it's always this record. Okay. So I will activate this. Refresh here. So annual revenue is on right will be the old. If annual revenue is 0 or blank, come on, right? It's not going to be blank. With the definition, correct? Less than this is not condition. This is also not triggering. This is also not triggering. So last option is not one was triggered. So which means then the calculator is what? Calculator annual revenue is less than okay. It's less than 10,000 only. Let me do this way. Annual revenue is minus 1. Okay, if I want to just something, I have to change it because the null check here, we are not doing right. So if I want the null check, I have the null check also. So let me do the null check. The record is created less than or equals to 1 lakh. This one. So we are not taking any blank conditions. Annual revenue is not equals to 1, so we are going to use it. Or 5. Okay. This is my criteria. So here what happens is now it will do and check it. Save as a new one now. Now it will become the third version. I'm going to do the third version. S4. I want to make this is black now. So if I say the black is here, why it's in the bold, I don't know. It's a null, correct. Decision check. Less than 1 lakh is meeting. Revenue is less than or equal to this one. Because of this one, correct. Revenue greater than 0, correct. We were using this condition. It should be greater than 0 and less than or equal to 1 lakh. Then only it has to be done. Otherwise, it has to go into this. And here, these are all conditions. Greater than or equal to 1 lakh. That's fine. Less than or equal to 1 lakh. Okay. All that is fine. Now what I do is I just say save. So debug again. Now I'll change this blank and run now. See here, now we can become a blank. Correct. So last part we was in this condition we were not marking greater than 0. So that's the reason always becoming this value as a true. Correct. So that's the reason it is making a code always. So now our logic was working fine. So I can activate now and then refresh this here. If I enter 0, then it will become black. Correct. So that's how we have to build flows. Okay. This is one type of flow which I have explained earlier flow. Okay. Let's say if I want to create not only same record to be updated, I want some actions. Correct. Let's take one more example here. In our system, we have the employees. Okay. As soon as as soon as the employee is created, I want to make this employee ID. So I don't use this employee ID. It's automatic. This employee ID should be send out an email. So to do that, we have workflow rules and some other rules. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to use the flow itself. So to do that, what I have to do, I have to create a new flow with the object as employee and the type is created only on the time. Okay. And my action will be different, right? When the record is created. Object is employee. Only is created. Only at the time of created. Okay. What I have to send is every time no condition is required. Now I should select this. The first field because I'm not employee. I'm going to do some actions here. Correct. So I have to select these options. So I can schedule this. Okay. Schedule in the sense what? As I said earlier, right? Once the employee is created after one day, I give the last aspect of that, right? After employee is created, after within after days is completed is induction training. Correct. So that's the email we have to send. So after 2 days, every 2 days we have to send out an email. So that is the schedulable things. Okay. Now at this moment we are not doing any schedulable things. We are doing right away. Okay. What we are doing is one send out an email right here. Correct. You do have actions now. You have a lot of actions. You can do some other actions. You do some flow. In the sense, and you have some other flows which will be embedded in this flow. So one page is the other page, right? In the same fashion. And these are the logics. And these are the data. You can create data. You can update the data. You can retrieve the data. You can deal with the data. Okay. This many things you can do. So now my action is just send out an email. Right. If you want to send out an email, it's a new action. So if you have this welcoming email action already available in your system, you can use that. If you don't have you get the new email alert in the email alert. Okay. So this is the other thing. So let's take a look and come to these things. Okay. You have options here: auto layout and the flip from. What auto layout does? The auto layout does is automatically, it will be clean and very easy to read. So if I go back to the one which we created recently. Right. It's auto layout means if you see here how clean it is, correct. For everything, it will be ended. For every action, we have things. If it is not auto layout, then if you do the free form, what happens is it will look like this. It won't work, and sometimes it is very hard to read. Correct. Some people will like this, the flip from view, and some people will be like auto layout view. Whichever you like you can just select out of it and then you can use. This is one option. There is one more option that's the property. So if you want to do some changes on your outlook, you can always do this. things here. Okay. And here you can, if you do something, if you want to do undo the redo, you have these two options. Okay. Let's say decision. I'm just giving you an example here. Come on. See here. If I add something, if I don't want one here, I can just undo here. Correct. And the redo here. However, we have some of the places you can do this undo redo things. And the select elements. What elements you want to select, you can select these elements. Okay. And also have this is the important in the Babel toolbox. This toolbox has a manager. This manager will contain all the new resources and decisions you can see here. How many resources you are using? The resources is what the decision. This decision under the decision you will have these three decisions. Correct. It will have three decisions under the elements. So how many elements you have? In the revenue element is the only decision box, the only one element you have this decision checkbox. And update records. How many records are you DMS that you are using? You are using 1, 2, 3, 4. Correct. You are using 4. So all these things you can, since this is very small, you can able to visualize in real time. It will have a lot of things. Okay. So let me show you one simple example. I don't know where it is. Okay. Where it is something which is out of the box. If you see here, right, there is a lot of options. Correct. You can't able to see all any single place. Okay. You can do it, but still, this is not one, but let's change one more thing. Create a logo is kind of one is also small, this one follow process logo. See, these are the out of this. If you see here, this one flow. How much big flow it is? Correct. If you want to read out all these things, it is very hard. To just easily understand high level how the element manages. Elements is many elements we have. You have a single element, you have action, you have flow. You can just drag and drop. If you want to add one here, you can drag and drop. Okay. If it is screen flow, then only it will show the screen. If it is a record card thing, it won't show the record card here. So if you see here in the new resources, you don't have that. Okay. So in transaction we have one and the logics. We can assign the value, we can make a decision, we can do read, collection. All this we have large operations here. And the data analytics also you have to have 5 data analytics. Create, update, review, delete, and rollback. So rollback are sense. If you have updated something and after updating you give some wrong steps. So you want to roll back your WS data, that is another topic. Okay. You have all these transactions, but if you want to understand this whole flow, you can go to the manager and see what all the resources you are using. Okay. You have something called Apex Verified Collections using Apex, which is action. Right. If you just click on here, so wherever it is, it will be highlighted here. You can just see here. If you click on this one, it was highlighted here. Correct. If I click on this one, wherever it is you are using, it will be highlighted. So to easily understand the big flows, the manager will really help us to understand what are the things were used in this flow, where basic elements are used, and then how many decisions we have, how many variables we have, how many search we have, how many screens we have. So everything will be used here. Okay. Understood. So I know we can explore in this fashion so that we can even easily understand this entire flow. Otherwise, to understand this one is very hard because see the relationship. It is starting from here to here, and from here it is going to this decision box. From this decision box, it is going to this one. If it is a default outcome, if it is unmanaged order, so it will go to this one. Okay. If we go into this step, we will got this test. Correct. What is happening? To easily get all this information in one point, that is a manager change. Okay. So for now, just in your system, we have already existing flows, which is out of your flows, and create one flow so that you can able to understand the new flows. Okay. Try this new flow of this card flow. Okay. Now I want to read about the screen flow. Let's say that I want to make the time sheet from my employee record itself. Okay. Let's say that I have to create one new action. That new action should have the fill that time sheet. I don't want to use this tab. I want to use my view. I don't like this view. Okay. If I want to use it in a different way, what I can do is I create my screen flow. Okay. So let's create the screen flow here. The screen flow. Select. So the screen flow is how you want to speak. First screen is I want to make this screen. So in the screen flow, however you enter your HTML or your any of the UI development, correct? Everything will be labeled over here, and you can just mention what you want. Okay. Build and description about header, so you can configure your header how you want to show the header, or if you don't want to show the header, you can hide the header. If you want to show the header, make the header. And the footer, you want to configure the footer, you can configure the footer. So you want to use the next button or not. And you want to show the previous button or not. I don't want to use this previous button because this is the first correct. And I don't want to give the pop-up, this pass button also. I can just hide it. Okay. If I want to use my next button here, okay. What I can do is the next button I will use first button. Say next. Correct. And I have my button label, it will be automatically entered. Because all these things are configurable. Correct. It's easy to configure. You don't need any of the logics to make screen. Correct. It's just a use of the properties. Screen properties here. Okay. So this is my header. Correct. So my header is done. So in my screen, if I want to use, here, these are the comments on your level and side. There are 42 input fields. If you want to drag the address, it will drag the address fields. Call script. Cancel appointment. Okay. You don't want to do this. The cancel appointment. All this. So if you see this lightning, these things are called as actions. It's built on the icon components. LWCs. Okay. And other things are the checkbox and this day and the data and everything. And the data table also. Okay. Now what I want to do is I want to make sure that I want to create the time sheet for this week. Okay. I want to what I have is first I want to select the project. So the project is coming from my employee, correct? So what I can do is I can get the field values from here. And record variable, but is the record variable I have. So I create my own record variable here. Okay. Or else if I want to deal with any of the records, I can directly show this here. Okay. First, I'm one thing is what I have to do is I have to say list. Ready buttons and the select points and all these we have. So now what I want to do is I have to display text. So that display text will be employee name. Okay. Should be on the employee name or employee ID. So I want to display this employee. Okay. So here what I can do is, so I'm indicating this screen in my employee record. So I will have this employee record and I will have the employee name. So I want to display this employee name alone. So what I can do is I just display the employee name here. So here wherever it is, I don't want to go in there because if I explain you in more details, it won't work. Okay. Let's say this here your project name. The project name is called the pick list, correct? And select your list. Project name is required. Okay. And the data is a text. And you can select the click list. And the choice I can enter my choices. Select. So here you can create your own choices. Collection. You have the collection, correct? And the record choice. So you have any of the records which is already there, you can do it. And the click choice list. So generate the choice by using values, pick list, other multi-select list field. So from where I want to select this one. Project name from the time sheet. Object. Correct. Data is pick list. And the field is project name. So I want you this one. No one haven't created this as a list. Correct. You want to show it. So this is a text field. This is still in the text field. Okay. I thought you all did. Okay. So now what I can do is log this one. I can select my sources. Project name. So choice labels. Type text. Choice value. Find me. Support project. Okay. I have selected my pick list. Okay. Now what I have to select now? Date. Correct. I can choose my date here. Select date. This is also required. Okay. And which format I want to make it. So this default value is always the current value. Correct. So that's what I can choose is so system virtual date and time. Whatever I have my date and time, so that will be selected automatically as a default value because So that is how we will put right. So when I open this page, so my date should be there. Okay. And this component will be always visible. And validation. So if I want to put any validation, I have to I can put the any validation in this one itself. Okay. So currently I don't have any validation at this moment. I don't want to use any other things. Okay. Project name, the selected date, and the last one is what? Number. I mean, no. I have to select the number of hours. Correct. So which is not number. So I just select this number. It's called the hours. And this is also required. And the decimal place is 0. I can put the 2 because possibly we will allow for 5.5 hours. Some people will allow half. Some people will allow the half hours, which is 2.5, 5.9. So those are the hours we calculate here. Okay. So if I want to put the default value, I can put the default value is 1.8 hours as a default. If they want to change it, they can change it at any point of time. So here my validation will be there. Okay. So here my validation should be screen components. I have screen component not here done. So once I have values, the parameter and everything, I can just say they are done, and I will insert all things into my mind. I'll assign these values to my object. Correct. Assignment. Assign. Where available, I'm going to use new where available, which is the filter type of what type is this? Where available, API name is time sheet, and then data type is record because I want to make it as a record. Okay. Object name is the time sheet. So once I'm done, this variable will be used here. Okay. And assign the time sheet. We don't have much values here. So if you would have some values, where is this? Time sheet. Hours is equals to from the inflow we have hours. So add hours and then time sheet. Whatever we have, the date. Assign the date. Whatever is selected date we did. Correct. Assign time sheet. The project name should be from the project name. Okay. These values will automatically assign this time sheet record. And once I have that record, I can just insert this record. Correct. I can create a record. So here create time sheet record. Only one parameter saying that is my and my time sheet record is this. Record all the values and set done. Correct. There is any errors happen. What I have to do is I have to get rid of almost the screen is this. So error screen. Correct. I want to show the error screen. So in this error screen, paste. So here, okay. I can make change of these things. Bold and large scale and red color. Okay. Catalog. Invalid text. API name will be one. Yeah, that's it. If I want to use this fluffy form, this is how it will be. Okay. If it is not such, there is something else. We have all issues. There is one more I already data. So in the I can also drag it on here. This is string. This will text. Successes. And save it. Successfully. And change my text. The colors also. Okay. So let's take this one. If it is there, and if it is this all it is. So this is what the fault is. If any element is used on one side and one failure, this is the fault is. So fault is in the sense if something happened when something was errored out, then that string will be displayed. Otherwise, the success will be displayed. Okay. So in this string assignment is and you have error display string component error strings organizations fault folder. Some fault folder. Yeah, that's fine. So it will be open here. So in this case, I just finished up my save. Time here. Save. And activities. So to use this string flow, we have to use any of the actions are you can't use anyway. As I said earlier, let's take this one. If I want to use this one, I want to take a new action. I can create a new action. New action is called create a record. I can use an SMS update like component and flow. So here we have an option as a flow. And I'm going to use the field that time as my flow. Okay. Labels, what I can do is I can use any of these labels. So this label is not really important. Field time sheet. And save. So now if I use this action and this action should be placed in my record in my record. So for this one I have layouts. Page layouts. So page layouts. In the page layout I can add that action. So you have mobile and live actions here. And here, if you type the fill and you will get it. Okay. So you will have, there is a one panel called Salesforce Mobile like Experience. Override this and drag this here. Okay. If you drag this action, it will be displayed over here. And then save now. Once you save, now if you go back to your time sheet or employees record, what you see is, if you go to this record, because the result correct. Now you can see this action here. Correct. If I click on this, what happens is automatically it will show you this page, whatever I have in the default values. Correct. So now I can select my date. So I can also select it is giving the very old data. That's fine. Okay. The time sheet was 2022 8 hours. I mean 8 hours. I would put I have to create a separate data and this one. For now you can use this one. Okay. The training is the training. Okay. This is the next field which I'm going to. So this I did some mistake here. So it should not be the case. So once you do the next, what happens is there is some other record. Okay. Because my flow was not using correctly. I'm not assigning proper values. So it is saying that some error record. I know. So if you want to go to the previous screen, it will go back and show you the previous screen. And if you want to change some values and proceed, again record. So we have to check again what happened to the flow screen. Okay. So that is what we have to check in our debugs. So up to now, guys are here about this screen flow on the flow. So the screen flow, this is where we can use. So this is one place of it, and the other place is what? In the record pages. Edit page. And in this one also you can drag to your, you can play with it. So let's say if I want to use, so instead of I don't want to create a new action, I want to just create a new tab. New tab, which is the custom tab. Send the time sheet. Okay. Done. If you click on the time sheet, so here you have some other flows. Okay. If you drag that flow here, it will ask you which type of flow you want to use. Okay. I want to use the fill time sheets, which way you want to use it. So this is the layout of one column layout, and you just add it and save it. So you also make use of it. Okay. There are many ways you can use these frames. So now this action is not done, and I will go to this employee record. Employee record. If you put it here, come on. Refresh the screen. See the tab is over here. As soon as you click on the tab, it will show you this screen. So you have customized this screen, correct? So this is where you can have the screen frames. But it takes time to understand it. So it will not be done in one correct? Can you keep practicing this one and when you are doing the same screen flows and the other options. But what I like to use is just explore on these things. Okay. Understood.